The invisible karma.
Yeah.
The one that we saw coming, and I like this wait here for Beryl to be like, all right, let's see what the matchup is first before we just blind lock into Yuumi.
Yeah.
It's going to be a strong lane.
It is. And also, Rakan has historically been a pretty good pick into the Yuumi as well. So being able to utilize that in order to dodge it. I really do like that the Fred Brion fans are always so passionate, even if there aren't necessarily as many of them here at LoL Park. It's just very heartwarming. I think the team themselves, we've quoted, you know, the power of friendship and things like that many times. This ward is, I believe, going to get a fair bit of value. As you can see, DRX all just going to walk over it. As Beryl gets the bad news. As Juhan, don't do it! Don't do it! Oh, God! Okay, that's first blood. Okay, never mind. They do manage to get the flash out and the heal. Chains are going to connect as there's the first blood. A little bit delayed. As now Kingen is flashing after Henna. He's going to go down. Umpty picks up the kill onto the Karma, though, as now Zeka's trying to get some 5-point strikes in. This is an absolute catastrophe for DRX, who are down 3 kills at 1 minute in.
Yeah, this is a massive amount of value for one ward, and then a level 1 here for Fred Brion that is favored, and when Juhan is way far away from the rest of his team at the front, I don't want to say it's over, like it's not that bad, but it has definitely changed.
Well, Deft is still level 1, so he doesn't have his arcane shift. He walks into the brush, and he's real dead. He had no flash, of course. Umpty with a fantastic gank timing here, level 2 on the Wukong, and he'll just take the free money there on the bottom side. As Juhan, I mean, this is the thing that's so rough as well, is that this is Pyoshik's best champion. Puts that control ward down. Let's see whether Juhan can actually challenge for this one as the ulti comes through. Good flash out, but the steadfast presence going to avoid Umpty coming back in. He just secures himself. The Rift Herald is now Lava with perfect execution in hand. Is going to dash after the Poppy. Zeka over the wall. Oh, man, he was ready to punish, but not going to take the bait is Fred Brion, and they'll take themselves the Rift Herald and just move on out.
Only rotate up the light. Okay, Kingen, you are very far forward, my friend.
Yeah, Hop comes down. All right, he's going to flash towards his barrel. It's not going to do anything for him as he eats some oranges, but is still going to die. Umpty not back into that cannon barrage, but isn't going to die to the turret either, and that's a very comfy kill. They could also now just drop the Rift Herald if they want, but Umpty wants to take the Empowered back for a little while longer, and there is a lot of duration on that one still left to go.
Yeah, so would have had it back off of cooldown.
Yeah, okay, well, here's a bit of a fight. It's Juhan chasing after Morgan. There's the cannon barrage. Morgan wants another hop, but he's not going to get it. There's the flash that comes through. Guys. And Fred Brion, they can get out if they want to. They can fight if they want to. They can do whatever they would like.
This was just such a masterclass of tempo advantages for Fred Brion.
Well, there's another cannon barrage. This time it's going to spell the end of death. He can't even land the Mystic Shot towards the end there as now Beryl is wrapping around. No more barrels to come through here as now Zeka diving towards Morgan where he can. Gets a nice little backflip. Perfect execution going to be available for that second time around, but he can't actually use it for any sort of damage or execution.
That aspect is not coming in for another 10 minutes.
Well, that's a heroic charge. Delight going to be able to get out of there. Just waits out the steadfast presence. Cannon barrage not going to be able to take down Delight, who's running real quick. Oh, True Shot barrage. It's going to break a stopwatch, but it wasn't going to kill Delight anyway. It's going to be really difficult to get back. As Lava grabs himself that cannon barrage. Beryl extraordinarily low, and DRX realize they just can't win the fight. So they're going to have to give away Infernal Soul as True Shot barrage tries its best, and Umpty actually flubs the smite there a little bit, but that was after the True Shot barrage came through anyway. And so a very easy...
Now Elder is just going to spawn. They still have Prio without Baron.
Ooh, okay, Cannon Barrage comes down. It's going to be traded. Kingen is going to have to get himself over to the side. Lava goes golden. The barrel chain going to miss there as Lava does manage to escape. Beryl not going to be so lucky. Does have to flash to get out of the way of that grand entrance. No kills, but definitely a lot of buttons pressed, and it's going to be Fred Brion that managed to take the reward. This inner turret that they've been working on for a very long time.
Now they will have to attack an objective. Please do it, Fred.
Yeah, and they can just move to this one.
Spawn. Yep, and now there's very few tools here. Kingen did have to use his Cannon Barrage. True Shot Barrage was early here.
This Keeper's Verdict is going to have to be the best thing ever. They get rid of the Rakan. Juhan not going to be able to lock down the Elder Drake, and the Dragon itself will destroy the Poppy. Now Morgan's diving forward, and he'll just obliterate this Karma. Kingen knocked up and taken down. And I think Fred and Breon have done it. They just waited it out. They're just, 6 minutes? All right, we'll take ourselves an Elder. And now Def feeling like the last man standing here.
It's been a lead for 30 minutes here that Fred and Breon have had, and they've played it passively. They played it slow. I think they definitely could have pulled the trigger on Baron takes earlier, but at the end of the day, Lava looks for a hard engage onto King and takes his cannon barrage away. And I don't mean with the hijack, he just forces King to use it defensively. It's a nice try from Def.
Him walking into that brush? I really don't think that we've learned all that much at all, which is a bit sad.
I don't think he played the bottom matchup as well as he could have, and I think that he certainly was a little bit slow to rotate to objectives. I mean, look, it's hard to criticize him because of everything that happened at level 1, but I think Pyosik would have played this one out a lot differently, and that's all I can think about right now because it's Poppy for DRX, and this is the crux of their comp, and just didn't do a whole lot.
The other thing is, it's first pick Silas, once again, not finding quite that much of an answer. It's only Chovy that's been able to do so, but there are hands involved in that particular question as well. It's now DRX having to deal with 2 of their inhibitors being down, and Fred and Breon wanting to say goodbye to this game. Close to 32 minutes in, Zeka is going to almost just die to a cannon barrage that this Silas put down. My goodness, the hijack version just doing so much damage here as DRX run out of turrets. Henna gets hit by a barrel, taking a fair bit of damage here. Now you've got Zeka diving into the backline. He goes golden and will just be knocked up. Henna's actually able to get his revenge there as well as Def does manage to buffer an arcane shift, but he will not be able to save his Nexus. And Fred and Breon will win game number 1 against DRX. And despite the fact that Def does the most damage in the game, none of it was relevant. And as you can see, this gold never dipped, really. It was just that level 1 play. And then Fred and Breon are like, well, we'll play the long game. We're just going to take every single objective, deny you anything that you want to do, and we will eventually win. And that's precisely what they did.
Yeah. The Tahm Kench is going to be so valuable for the Corki too. Can save him, of course, and he's going to pick a GA up very early on into the game. The Ezreal here for Fred and Breon is going to be able to trade back a lot of that damage in terms of the neutral fights, which I think Fred and Breon absolutely need, because otherwise this comp is so one-dimensional.
All right, here we are, onto the Rift for game 2. As already, we've got the 5-point defense system, no invades this time around. The center Tahm Kench, I agree, I'm not really a huge fan of it, but it's into Ezreal Nautilus, which isn't exactly the greatest, as Juhan is going to find Umpty, or has Umpty found Juhan, as Morgan's going to rotate over, King doing the same thing. And it is just going to be gentleman's agreement. Just going to be backing away here, as Winter's Wrath not going to find the target either. Is the fact that Wukong was nerfed, right? He's clear, not as strong, but that was entirely mitigated by the level 1 in game number 1. Umpty is now largely being out-tempoed, as you can see. Speaking of which, Morgan gonna have to flash here towards the top side, as Kingen still has ulti, his barrel chasing after Delight here. Henna still taking a lot of damage, and these autos are starting to hurt. As Umpty is doing this Drake, he should be able to pick this one up. But that is just a lot more proactivity from DRX, and they are still ahead of the play in this game.
And Deft is going to be able to just leave Tahm Kench bottom side here to look for this fight. It's Morgan.
All right, Juhan's going to come forward, and that should be a kill here, as Kingen was tanking the turret for quite some time, and oh, dearie me. Yeah.
For this Herald. I don't think it's going to be a favorable one, but they at least get to try now because Juhan died there.
Well, I mean, can they? Beryl has teleport, and Henna does not, as Umpty also going to get snared up. It is going to be the Rift Herald taken down, as there's the Dredge line. Delight still going in on this one. Umpty going to be interrupted, but the Cyclone still does a fair bit of work before the Monkey unfortunately falls down. And oh, Beryl, he's hungry. And they're going to be able to get yet another one. DRX, they are. And I just don't think that the Drake stacking is going to be a thing that's going to be able to continue for too much longer. And like you say, DRX very happy to scale, so they can just pick up some Drakes a little bit later, and they'll be fine. Deft still taking a lot of damage there from the True Shot Barrage, but his Umbral Glaive has been completed. His Dawning Shadow's up, but there's a Cyclone into the backline. Charm goes entirely wide, though, and they do manage to pick up Deft. at the beginning of this fight. Great knock up there onto Beryl, who's trying to walk it out, but he won't be able to do so. And Fred and Breon, they find the engage they're looking for. Package going to be delivered, but it's not quite enough damage. And Juhan, he's going to be able to Heartbreaker his way over, and even flashes to avoid dying. He pressed the potion button, and therefore he's still here. You love to see it. But the Drake stack is there, Wolf. But Fred and Breon, they have options. And Morgan's Narbar is in a good spot as into the backline goes up to yet again. Now it's Zeka's turn to be in trouble, but the Glacial Prison comes down. DRX are trying to collapse, but they collapse into a Gnar. Juhan's going to be taken down first. Umpty managing to escape for now, and Zeka is zoned entirely. Now it's King and Deft and Zeka versus the world. But Kingan's going to get charmed up, taking too much damage. And the power of friendship, it's working out, Wolf. Let's see whether we see it again, as Morgan does have the Mega Gnar almost available, but we'll need a few more autos. We're going to check out how many summoner spells. There's basically none. And also, not a whole lot of ultimates left at that point in time either. It was only Morgan, but he didn't actually have access to it.
Oh man, when I see Deft clearing words like that, I'm always nervous when they show the division toggle. Was Umpty is again on the flank.
Okay, he's going to find Kingan, or is Kingan going to find Umpty? As Morgan's over the wall. Okay, package going to be delivered, and Umpty's just dead. Sometimes you overstep the mark, as Morgan is going to have to hop his way out, and DRX should be able to get their first Drake. Fred Breon, this is a 4v5, guys. This is a dangerous situation. Charm goes entirely wide. Nah, onto 2 into the wall, though, as Juhan has to ult to get himself out. Spirit Rush is going to be enough to get... or is it? Juhan actually dancing around lava beautifully here. The flash does eventually come through, and they manage to take him down. As Hannah's True Shot Barrage doing a whole bunch of work, and Fred Breon and DRX both back away.
You have prior. You actually take this. You fight this one. You actually take the Drake. Like, they have the choke fight control, but they are still so timid. These are the moments, Fred Breon, where you have to push your advantage. You have to take this Drake. They will finally start this one up.
Well, now we're looking for another engage as Morgan once again on the flank. Oh my goodness, the Lord is really here today, as that is a very dead Sejuani. Fred Breon, they are not going quietly into the night, and they will just engage at every single moment. They're grouping up as 5, and they're just running at their opposition, and I love it. And their double ward that they just put down there, the coordination and the decision-making has been really good, as Delight finds an Arctic Assault from Kingan over that wall. As DRX grouped up as 5, this is dangerous, but the hook is going to connect onto the Tahm Kench. They're engaging fully onto him as Morgan gets another Gnar into the wall. It's onto the tank, but it doesn't matter. The follow-up's not there as Deft almost catches a house. But honestly, oh my god, Lava decides to hit the charms now, as he does go golden to avoid dying there to Juhan. And DRX, they're running out of summoner spells, they're running out of buttons, and they're running out of hope. Kingan off to the side here, and like you were talking about, the package is available. Fred and Breon have to be very, very careful, and they may just want to give this one up, to be perfectly honest. The package shouldn't be available for the next Drake, and then they can take the fight on that one. But this is Fred and Breon, and maybe they just want to start the fight. As Delight dives into the backline, another Cyclone, but Umpty is just going to get popped immediately. Delight's able to try and trade one back, but it doesn't work because there's a Devour. Now Lava's running away, and Fred and Breon, you didn't need to do it. You just didn't need to fight it. And Fred and Breon, they just want to fight, fight, fight. Gnar is going to come back onto King, and he's dragged in there as well, but the follow-up damage is now available. Delight's trying to limp his way out. Lava doing the same thing. Spirit Rush is going to be there. Dawning Shadow, thankfully for Fred and Breon fans, is on cooldown. But DRX gain the control, and they should be able to break open the base here with their Baron and take down this bot lane inhibitor turret.
This is a huge moment for Zeka too. He has his stopwatch and 3 items. Will of course be ready to build a GA after they win this team fight. So this is basically DRX looking to win the game right now.
Well, Fred and Breon, they're the ones that are going to start the fight though. Deft is immediately going to get exhausted, then devoured. Can he survive though? He's got a big shield. Henna in trouble, but he's trying to kite this one out. The lit comes through to finish him off as now Umpty's chasing after Deft, but he will survive. He kites it out. And Fred and Breon, unfortunately, are just going to be left in the dirt. DRX, they're not all dead yet, and this Baron is where DRX are going to be focused. I think there's possibly one last chance Saloon, but Zeka has package. And so that makes this a very difficult proposition, as DRX not even wanting to start a siege around a Baron or anything like that. His package is going to be straight up delivered here to Fred and Breon, and there is just too much damage available. Zeka, he has GA, Devour, everything, and the kitchen sink is available for this Corki to keep himself alive, and Umpty's going to go down. Double kill for Juhan as Morgan's trying to kite out Kingen, but this battle, it really does not matter too much as it's Lava left on the fountain, and the rest of DRX are just pushing up the mid lane.
Yep, they are going to end it. Such a valiant effort, though, from Frederick Breon. It really made this game a lot closer than it had any right to be. Not a good sign for DRX fans in that regard, but at least they're going to bring this one to a third and final game of this series.
Yeah.
Harder fought than they would have liked, but they take it in the end and will bring us to that final game.
Yeah, Delight taking a lot of damage on the fountain here as well, as Deft with his Kraken Slayer Senna certainly doing a lot of work, flashing on top of it as the Nexus goes down, so he will survive in the end. And DRX even out the series, exactly like you say.
On Senna, of the 8 games he's played, so a bit of a rare victory for him on this pick that has not been seeing a lot of success in the LCK, but he piloted it so well. He and Zeka, despite some hiccups through the mid game, are able to win it in the end. And DRX's comp, I think, was the superior one. They just had to live long enough to see that late game, and they did. Yeah, no, it's basically a better version of the draft they had last time.
Yeah.
Replacing the Ezreal with the Kai'Sa here so you can follow up on the Ahri engage, just have that extra long-range burst.
The King and Lee Sin. All right,
Okay.
so this was one of our original picks that our Rascal made look extraordinarily busted into the Gnar. DRX fans pretty loud as they look to see whether DRX can at least pick up one victory this week. Remember, their next match is against a Damwon Kia that are looking for revenge. That is the more difficult matchup.
Yep, there was a ping, a warning ping there in the river as well, and the follow-up could have been there. They just back off. Don't get a flash, but still nice exchange. Bottom side control here for Pyoshik.
Oh my goodness, Delight's flashing. Okay, Deft is burning down. Henna tries to find the Q, but he's not going to get there. But Umpty's here, and he'll secure it.
Atlas.
Oh dear.
Man. Like, also, let's just remind everybody that literally, Umpty just hit Path down. I was about to say these words like, okay, so they're super far up. He passed down. It's okay. Kingen almost gets some extra lethal damage here, but like, he is literally there above them, and they are still pushing. Deft and Barrel are not reacting. They are not respecting from Umpty bottom side to maybe try to take a top side play they didn't make. This is a huge swing in this early game.
Oh, but Henna does have to flash. Gravitum is going to, would have kept him there so that the Abyssal Dive would have connected. So therefore, no flash on the Kai'Sa either after she teleported back to lane. Pyoshik is just going to get flashed on as they're standing on top of that ward, and Pyoshik's going to have to get the heck out of here. Beryl now as well, trying to abyssally dive his way out, and he does do so as DRX punished once again for some positioning around the map. But they still at least have a flashless Kai'Sa to try and punish here towards the bottom side as they get the crash and now look to exert some pressure elsewhere. For Frederick Breon.
Yeah. She's not going to have this choke point controlled, though. Henna does not have 6, can't engage from far away. This is not a good fight here for Frederick Breon unless they get set up a Charm Cyclone.
Yeah, but Morgan's Gnar is in a great position. Beryl has to devour very early. Delight flashes away, will keep himself alive. Emperor's Divide more defensively rather than offensively, but still, it does do the disengage that they were looking for. Morgan aggressively positioning as that Gnar is charging up. Q connects there onto Lava, but I don't think Kingen wants to go aggressively onto that one. And now Delight, looking for a back, wants to get that health bar up so that he can run through another round of spells against DRX, but I don't know whether he'll be back in time. You press all of your R buttons and hope that they line up right, as that is a flash charm, and Henna's here as well. Lava secures the kill, and Deft just overstepping one more time. No heal, no flash, doesn't use him, as I think he just knew he was dead.
They have, at the moment, a slight gold lead, in fact, a 2-kill lead. And it's moments like this that you could just bet that Frederick Breon are going to be able to pull the trigger on. And this is unlike Frederick Breon of Spring, where they were just super passive and slow and scaling. They're being aggressive, they're looking for picks, they're finding them.
Yeah, Beryl, you could see, was actually looking for Umpty, but it's Umpty that's found him. A charm's going to connect there as well. You can't devour yourself, Beryl! Oh no! Now Pioshik looking for a counter engage, but the Cyclone's going to have another charge. And yeah, Shirley, she got a headbutt off, but it doesn't actually do anything here. As Umpty is going to disappear, his Playful Trickster is going to come on through there, as that's not the name of that ability, that's Fizz's E. As Lava, he's going to get engaged on. There's the kick flash, and Lava does go golden. That's going to buy a bit of time as Umpty goes for the re-engage. Henner into the back line, but he's going to get divided and destroyed. Not sure about that particular decision, my friend, as the Drake is still alive, and now DRX might be able to take that one as a trophy. But no, they're not going to close in. Thank you very much, Fredabrion, for not making me look like an absolute jerk there. As Lava testing the waters, trying out the spacing. As all right, Charm is going to connect once again. They're going onto the Tom Kench, but into the back line goes Umpty. It's an Emperor's Divide onto only one. The Nara's into the wall, and Beryl is taken down. The target selection from Fredabrion, fantastic once again, but they're diving a turret. Delight went too far forward. Umpty, his Warrior Trickster, is going to get taken down, and it's a 1-for-1 in the end.
For me, the Emperor's Divides have been really good at keeping Zeka alive and setting up for longer fights for DRX, but after the Emperor's Divide protects DRX, after the Devour protects DRX, Beryl doesn't die, then they have a great front line for the carries to actually do damage. Zeka's autos.
Yeah,
okay,
Umpty going in yet again, but he's taking a lot of damage. Lava hunting for a charm as Beryl still sitting at 50% as now DRX on the re-engage. But Morgan, he's got other things to say. The Devour going to be used onto the Xin Zhao, but Beryl is down so extraordinarily low. Kingen diving into the back line, but immediately he's going to get CC'd, and two have already been picked off. The Emperor's Divide secures two. The bottom lane has been taken out, and DRX have outlasted them this time. They are now going to look for this Drake as well as Umpty. He can get behind here. He can go for the steal, and he is going to be able to do it. Gets into the pit, steals it away, and he's going to die, but he's going to do so after typing Worth in all chat.
Has no idea.
This is very dangerous. The hook is going to come through. The Devour is going to be there as Beryl had to flash for it. Emperor's Divide comes through as Deft stays alive for way too long as Umpty is trying to get himself out of there. Lava to do the same as Kingen flashes forward immediately, picks up the two low health targets. Beryl is taking a lot of damage. He'll get gnarred into the wall, but Morgan is going to get taken down as well. It's a triple kill for Kingen on the follow-up, and I guess Deft was just bait.
Deft, as long as he doesn't get isolated here, they still are in a nice position. DRX not really in danger.
That Emperor's Divide was so well timed. Zeka knew. He must have known that it was a possibility as Henna's going to get knocked back. He does go golden as Fredabrion trying to regroup, reconnect. Kingen just going to kick him in the head though, and Deft has the follow-up damage. The Ophelio's completely untouched in this fight as Zeka is fighting Morgan, and I just don't think the Lord is going to... Oh, never mind. He flashes, he crushes, and picks up the shutdown. Morgan, the God, is going to be able to salvage at least one part of this fight.
And has so much damage at the stage. As you watch him stopwatch here, had that available for the dive onto himself as well. So he was never really in any danger. But because he used it at this point, he did seal his fate against this Nar.
I don't quite know what he said, but I imagine it was pretty funny.
I didn't quite catch it either.
Cheese it away. Delight was seen at the very end, and now he's going to clear out this ward. So they definitely know that he's here. Henna gives himself away as well as Fredabrion, I believe. All members outside of Umpty are completely known. Kingen's going to check these flanks, and Umpty is going to be... Okay, the Warrior Trickster going to get spotted.
Yeah, he gets out, but, I mean, there's just no way for Fredabrion to realistically look for a fight here. Kingen can check Umpty. Now he's 3 levels up and has 3 big tanky items, so he will just never have to worry. Teleport used here for Henna, who does have GA. Yeah. It's now or never, Fredabrion. You have to win this fight somehow.
All right, there's the hook onto Pioshik, but immediately he just uses that ult button. That's more disengaged. Now Lava is fighting against King and up towards the top side. This 4v4, however, has Umpty going down to about half health, and now it's just Morgan and Delight against the world. The rest of Fredabrion was split off, and this is not the coordination that I was expecting from this squad. Kingen also is able to get himself out. Lava is so low, and now Umpty is just trying to get something off the back end, but Kingen's gonna safeguard his way out. Morgan doesn't quite find the boomerang, and Lava is going to successfully at least kill himself on his own terms.
once Zeka, or rather Pyosik and Kingen's stopwatches get turned into GAs, this game 100% ends, but I don't know if we're even getting to that point. With this Baron still up for 75 more seconds here, the push they have bottom side. Yeah. There's no pick angle here this time, Fred Brion. Like, you have to hide in your base. There's no flank. There's no option. This composition has well and truly reached its expiration date. There is nothing it can do anymore. Even with a perfect split like they had on the last Baron fight, they just do not have the damage anymore in a long-term fight.
Yeah, Morgan also hits Mega now. They can wait it out.
At 40 minutes, every fight's long-term.
Oh, Kingen's still feeling a little bit aggressive. And yeah, you're exactly right. Like, this is getting later into this game, and we mentioned the scaling already. I feel like that expiration date was already kind of up, but Bro had so many of these heroic engagements, and sometimes it looks great, and other times it looks just quizzical, very confusing. But this time, it does feel like they're running out of ergs. There aren't a lot of options. They're 8,000 behind as, okay, Pyosik is going to get charmed up. Now going to have to run away as maybe it's the caster curse. The ignite comes through. There's the hook from Delight as well. Pyosik going to get devoured as Beryl's like, get back here, we've got killing to do, and Henna diving into the backline. Deft is going to get Nod. This is a bloodbath, but into the backline goes Zeka. He's looking to take matters into his own hands. And yes, they managed to take down Deft, but Zeka has a stopwatch. Oh my goodness, the Q is going to miss. Henna is going to fall down though, and now Beryl is chasing after the rest of them. Oh man, it was a mess, but DRX come out on top.
Yeah, DRX do come out on top, could just push down mid here, take out a second inhibitor. They have ultimate control as Morgan is trying to buy time here, set up this wave defensively in mid, which will actually buy time for Lava to return. Remember, no ult here for Pyosik.
Oh dear, but he's not going to find the charm either. Pyosik's able to move himself out of the way, so Lava unable to get any sort of pick. But they do buy some space, and you know, it's just a bottom lane inhibitor.
Kingen has GA, and he's on the edge.
Yeah, exactly, but a hook is going to come through here. Delight going down extraordinarily low, is into the backline, goes Henna. His Emperor's divided, though, and taken down by Deft. Oh no, the Henna overstep has happened once again as the Devour is used onto Deft. He has a huge shield, and DRX should be able to wipe them out here. Morgan, he's been heroic for Fred Brion, but he's the last man standing, and he cannot do it alone. Ace comes through, and DRX will win this game.
Zeka teleports bottom, and that is going to be the end of this series. Again, tonight is supposed to be the barometer, the temperature gauge between DRX and Damwon Kia, both the favorites in their series. We'll see if Damwon Kia has the same struggles against Nongshim later on. But DRX, they won it. They played the scaling comps. They are able to take out the Nexus in the end. The frustration that I was talking about DRX fans should feel in this win, all 5 players were echoing in those final moments. Like, this should have been a cleaner series. This was a rough series. It should not have gone down this way. A win's a win, but it really hurts to win like this when you should have expected it dominant 2-0, as we all did.
Yeah, this is...
Thank you very much, guys. This is Jason for the solo POD interview joined by Zeka from DRX. Congratulations! DRX finally broke the losing streak, a well-needed victory for DRX. How do you feel, Zeka? Yeah, recently, you know, 3-match losing streak was not the one we wanted, so we were kind of feeling small and losing confidence. I hope this could be a huge momentum boost for us, and I think this will allow us to prepare for the upcoming match very well. That was exactly what I wanted to ask, you know, how did the team manage to kind of cheer up and prepare for this match? Mostly our coaching staff told us, you guys are doing great, so stay strong, you know, keep your mentality strong, and you guys will be able to get the win. And today you guys are able to get that comeback victory. Yeah, same thing they said about game number 1, you know, they were able to help us stay strong even though we dropped game number 1. Looking forward to seeing more of confident DRX in the future with this well-deserved victory. Game number 1 started off with a very sloppy invade. So how did you prepare for game 2? What was the communication about heading into game 2? So the first game, you know, the game was pretty much over in the get-go, but our draft, we thought it was fine. So we wanted to go for the blue side again and go for the same draft and kind of adjust our play instead. So game number 2, the first pick, the blind pick Corki, was so powerful. The Corki was the menace of that game because once you try to dive onto the Corki, you get just melted down by the damage from Corki. Tell me about the strength and weakness of Corki. Well, Corki is so weak in lane, so it takes a lot of time to kind of scale. However, he can do a lot of damage in the late game in terms of poke damage. But Zeka, you managed to win lane on that Corki and remain uncut in that game. Tell me about that play. Somehow I was able to get the lead early on in lane, so I was able to keep that going. And then P06 subbed in after DRX won game 2. Tell me about that strategy too. So Juhan in both game 1 and 2 did a great job, but we wanted to also give P06 a chance because he's also a great player, so we trusted him, we wanted to give it a shot. Game 3, we had a very intelligent draft by DRX. We had actually Lee Sin rotated towards the top lane. So tell me about that pick. Lee used to be a really good pick into Nor, so Kingen has been practicing that into as a counter into Nor. I guess that kind of preparation finally paid off in this matchup. Game 3, Azir did more than 1,000 damage per minute. You were the main damage carry for sure on the side of DRX. Zeka, how are you able to step up so much recently? I think while I play, I always try to, keep my mentality strong despite the losing streak, I just wanted to keep working hard, then my teammates will trust me and that will help me get bigger confidence with my play. And your next opponent will be Damon Kia. This is gonna be the match of the week. And you guys are able to take them down in the first round robin. We started off our, I hope we can start off our winning streak after getting this first win after a long losing streak. So I am going to do my best in that matchup. This will be the end of the interview from Zeka. Back to the Spacemans. Thank you.